What's up, feasters? This is Dominique, and welcome back to another great episode of the Anime Feast. With me today, as always, we have Tawan,
Mosh mosh, what up, dudes, guys, girls, all the above.
everything in between, and Matt.
Hey, what up, everybody? Everybody's a dude. She's a dude. He's a dude. I
Dude.
still love
That's what I
it.
really meant when I said dudes. So
Mhm.
thank you for the good burger reference, Matt.
Exactly. Everyone's a dude.
Yeah. We don't discriminate.
He's a dude. She's a dude. All right, that's where we have to stop so we don't get copyrighted.
I guess. But for those of you who don't know, that's a good burger. You know, it's 90s kids. We definitely know some good burgers. So go back, watch it, get some laughs because it's amazing. And sometimes how I answer the phone. Well, the good burger, how about the good burger? Can I take your order? So, but today, guys, we have a great episode to talk about. We've got a great topic. We have done some favorite character lists every now and again. It's been a while since we've done one. And so today we're going to dive into the great ninja world known as Naruto.
I thought you were gonna say Boruto for a second. No.
Known as Naruto's son.
Yeah.
Boruto's
No.
dad would lose to Naruto.
It's facts.
Oh God,
What?
man. Oh God, that Boruto's dad would beat up Naruto any day of the week.
It's nothing but straight facts.
Those are yeah. Well, it's kind of like saying now it's like my dad would beat up your dad, but you're just beating up the younger version of yourself.
Yeah,
Well, maybe-
Boruto's dad is Naruto. So
Mhm. Sweet.
All right. Well, I know today's episode is going to be about our favorite Naruto characters. Not going in any particular order or anything like that. Not really ranking them, but all of them have a special place in our heart for their own independent and wonderful reasons.
exactly.
Today's topic was the idea of our own Mr. Matt McCloskey, so we'll let him start it off.
Sweet. Let's start off with my favorite character. This is by far my favorite character of the whole series, and that
Wait.
is Gaara.
Gosh, I didn't even think. I was like, it's probably gonna be something that pisses me off. I know
No,
it
Gaara.
is.
What, Gaara?
Oh, Gaara. Okay, sorry.
No, my favorite character is
We didn't-
Gaara.
Yeah, we didn't hear who you said, so he was going to guess it.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, my favorite character is Gaara. I thought you said like I was gonna choose somebody like smug or something, like somebody random.
No,
as
I was
crap.
thinking you'd be like Shino, and I'm like,
No.
waste of a pick.
No, this is my true favorite character, Gaara. Whenever he's first introduced, like he was just so intimidating and just so like deadly and just like you knew he's full of evil, but I don't think at the time I realized how much Naruto actually impacted Gaara and through. But every time Gaara showed up, he would almost be like for a little bit of time, he was like the savior of like, oh, like, okay, like they'll be fine now because Gaara's here. Until Shippuden, and then it was just downhill after that. I mean, he's still relevant with everything, with being a Kazekage for the Sand Village, and every time he just makes me smile. Like he's just such a badass character.
I can agree on Gaara. You know, he like you said, he had that evil entrance. It was the first kind of we knew Naruto was a Jinchuriki, but he was the first true like showing of the evil that could be a Jinchuriki. Pretty much like if Naruto, decided to be bad almost.
Like
But
if he let Kurama take over him.
Yeah, but I mean, yes and no, because I mean, Gaara even himself was just evil before he even let the One Tail like ability take him over. Of course, it was because of how Gaara was brought up as well. You know, his dad tried to kill him, and his mom died early, and all that stuff. So, like, if Naruto kind of had that same thought process in terms of being like, I'm still going to try to be the best and be good, but I don't want attention. If instead he was like, well, screw it, I'm going to go like just kill what I want to kill, then he kind of like what Gaara was. But yeah, Gaara being that really scary thing that they had to, beat in the woods, and you see all the abilities, you're like, oh shit. But then that character development made Gaara like, man. Gar's that guy. Came back to save Drunken Rock Lee against Kimi Maru, which great
Gosh.
character, Kimi Maru.
Yeah, and like Gaara's fights are always top notch, and like I think
That's Sand.
that Gaara Lee fight was the first one that I know for sure got like a ton of people hooked. Like if you haven't seen anything, just show someone the Gaara Rock Lee fight, and they're gonna go watch One Piece if they like
Yep.
anime
Or
fights.
Naruto. You mean Naruto?
You said One Piece.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Naruto. Sorry.
One's got One Piece on
Yeah,
the
One
mind.
Piece. One Piece on
You
the
know
mind.
what? They'll still
That-
make me go watch One Piece.
Yeah.
Granted, that fight makes you more interested in Lee than in Gaara, but yeah, it's still like best. And
But I mean,
that
like,
one of the best fights, and then you get friggin' Sakura versus Ino, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah. And I hate that.
I like Sasuke more.
Than Sakura or
Sakura Ino
Naruto.
fight the Sakura Ino fight was I like Sasuke more. No, I believe in Sasuke more.
Oh, okay. It's been a while since I watched that fight, so.
I mean, it's
I was
just
like-
then. Plus, with Gaara, like his sand wheel and everything before. I mean, like he didn't get touched until Rock Lee had to take off his training weights, but.
And he was fast as fuck.
Boy, yeah, it's like
I
and
feel
then
like
Gaara, like he perked up a little bit. He's like, "Oh wait, what just happened?" Like, ooh.
yeah, Gaara's fighting got less interesting to me, I will say, after they took Shikaku from him. Like that was like, his sand doesn't move on its own to protect him. I know he can do it himself, but it's just not as cool.
I don't know. He still has some badass techniques and stuff he would
Oh,
do, but
yeah,
I agree. It was unfortunate.
The ultimate defense. I was like, but yeah.
But nah, so like anytime he comes on the screen, I just smile. Like I'm, and even reading slightly in Boruto. I mean, he makes an appearance and it's just like I'm just like, yeah, I know that, but at the same time, like I just smile. Like I just have a big smile. Like I was like Gaara the badass.
Yeah, I hate what they do with everybody in Boruto.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about it in our last podcast, but just man, I just despise everything about Boruto right now. Well, not everything, because some of the fights do seem dope, but just like how they what they've done to all the Naruto characters in Boruto makes me really mad.
I mean, they made them adults. I mean, most of them are boring.
No. Because Kakashi was an adult, Jaraya was an adult, Tsunade and them were adults, Hashirama was an adult, Madara was an adult, Obito's an adult, and I mean all of them in Naruto are badass as fuck. Guy, Might Guy when he fought Madara with the Ten Tails, badass as fuck. So why is it that Naruto, Sasuke, and all the villagers now, when they're the adults, they're all lame and weak and pathetic? Well, of course not Naruto and Sasuke, but everyone else is just so pathetic.
I mean, the rest of them, besides like Naruto and Sasuke, I mean, they are parents, but like I feel like it's a parent thing. Like Jiraiya wasn't a parent, Kakashi wasn't a parent, Tsunade wasn't a parent, Hashirama wasn't a parent.
Yes, he was. He was a parent. Tsunade, because Tsunade is his grandchild.
But his brother could have had kids. I don't know.
But that wouldn't be your grandchild. Your brother's kid is not your grandchild.
Yeah.
Sorry. That'd be your uncle, great uncle. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, you got me there. I don't know. Maybe it's where he had kids. I don't know. I'm just trying to give legitimate reasons. Well, my next character didn't get shit on in Boruto because he didn't make it to Boruto. But
wow.
It's got to be Neji.
It's definitely Neji.
Well, he didn't make it to Boruto.
They did my man dirty.
You can't make my character weak in the next generation when he's dead.
Yeah.
That is fuck. There's a doorknob.
No, my favorite story from Neji, because I had him on my list, but I took him off because just like how dirty they did him, and plus like how I got spoiled on that part while the episode was going on when I was watching Naruto for the first time. Steven came in. I was like, oh, he's like, I can't believe when Neji died. And I was like, no, Neji's still alive. He's still alive and well. And next thing I know,
he was like, oh.
It was like the flashback scene from like all the TikTok reels and stuff. He's like, oh yeah, they just showed a really cool part about like his past and like how he's making friends with everybody. And he's like, oh, did they do this? Like, oh yeah. Like, is he finding really bad guys? Like, yeah. It's like, oh okay, yep. Spoiled right before that happened.
Dang, Matt, I'm sorry. But
that's hilarious, but unfortunate.
Yeah.
He did die, but I don't know. I just love Neji. I love his dedication to change, and he became like the strongest in his clan using the Byakugan. And, he overcame a lot of BS because the Hyuga clan and like the branch versus main, and just the eternal servitude having to be tattooed on your forehead. I
To,
feel
to take it out to take it out on Hinata was a bitch move, but
yeah. I mean, but
I mean, that was his opportunity to do it.
it's kind of
Yeah.
ingrained in him at that point. He's like, I'm never gonna have another chance to like,
to bite, yeah.
like vent my frustration on a main member of
But
my clan. So
even still, he wasn't even supposed to fight her. He's supposed to like bow out, like because she is the main branch. But he was like, "You better do this work."
time to get these palms, not just the hands, just the palms.
Yeah, about to take all your chakra points.
Yeah, early Naruto too. I mean, like, he gave off kind of like evil vibes too, because he like bad intention vibes early on,
Yeah.
and when
it's because how smug he was. He was always a smug guy who was like, "I'm a genius. I'm better than everyone."
But he was like a better Sasuke, like, because I equate Rock Lee and Naruto and Neji and Sasuke, because like everything appeared to come easier to Sasuke than it did to Naruto, just like with Neji and I keep wanting to say Guy, but Lee.
Rock Lee.
Yeah, Neji and Lee.
The younger version.
But Neji also was like the first one to become a Jonin out of the group, and he's just like super skilled. And when he used a 64 trigram, it's over. It's over.
8 trigrams, 64 palms, but I knew what you were trying to get at.
Yeah.
And let's see change of like when Shikamaru like invited him to do the rescue Sasuke arc, is like, oh, like no, he's a good guy now. Like,
yeah, the only guy that got left out of that was Shino. And it's just like he probably should have been in it, since there was literally another insect user, which was specifically bees, but I thought that would make more sense than, maybe Kiba, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Naruto rescue, the Sasuke rescue arc. It's where boys became men.
Exactly.
Love it so much. Or butterflies.
Or butterflies.
But yeah, that's when we learn again. That's when we learned the one downfall to his technique, and comes back to
one sight that you can't see.
Yeah, comes back to like the one very, very small size of a dime area that comes back to haunt us all the way at the end of Shippuden. 300, 400 episodes later. But yeah, I like Neji. He was a good guy. Gone too soon. One of my favorite characters in the show is still alive. Can't say that they held him because we haven't really seen. And it's Naruto's best friend, none other than Shikamaru.
I do love Shikamaru. He's also on my list.
I was like, he's my second favorite character.
He's easily a top tier character.
Absolutely. Just like being a genius, being kind of like lazy about it all at the same time. We're like, what a drag. It's like not wanting to do things, but when you can't, like when you have to do it, you can do it. Like just look how smart he was, smarter than his dad. Unfortunately, had to watch his dad die in Shippuden.
Both of them.
Yeah. That whole Osmo stuff was just.
That was one of the hardest deaths for me.
But then he got his revenge with that genius. Oh man, like to beat an immortal, like that was dope. And how badass he was about it. He was like this forest is my family's forest. It's protected by my family. See, the ranger did all the deer started to come in. He was like, there's no one that can come help you. From now on, I am your god. And I was like,
I am your god. I'll be watching over you 24/7. It's like.
And then took that lighter that Asuma used to light his cigarette and just threw it in there and lit his ass on fire. Bruh.
All right, Shikamaru. But yeah, so like just already that in the beginning, and Shikamaru was always there for Naruto, just through everything that he kind of had to go through, and obviously he had to also go through it in Shippuden, so it's kind of like very similar paths with what happened to them and their senseis. And now, he's grown up and he's the right hand. He's the secretary essentially, helping Naruto stay on track in Boruto as the Hokage, and still just being by his side and helping him out with everything. And I mean, there's no downside to Shikamaru, and he also married Tamari. Like my man's was able to, like, because he fought her beat her. Like after she beat 10-10, he was able to like, okay, you took out one of my classmates. Let me show you that we're actually better than you. But I'm gonna quit this match 'cause I don't give a shit about this. So I'm actually gonna forfeit. And
So I thought,
now, and then
see
the
how they,
narrator type them cheeks.
yeah, popping cheeks.
I,
No, I
I
thought,
will say probably the only downside to Shikamaru is that his like Kekkei Genkai, I feel like is so specific and so restrictive. Like if he was an Uchiha, he couldn't be touched. He could not be
Yeah,
touched.
with his
But they had to
intelligence.
like, yeah. Or if he was a Hyuga, like if he was, he would have been so much better off. But I hate that his jutsu isn't like really lent to attacking without like hurting himself most of the time. But I guess that just adds to the strategy of him and builds his character
but
up.
I mean,
But
he's not really meant to be an attacker. He's meant to be more stealth and diversion.
yeah,
So
he's a strategist.
Yeah, entirely a strategist. I do like the shadows, but yeah, it's because it's not the fact that like, hey, I get your shadow and then like I pretty much win. It's like if you still feel if your willpower essentially is stronger than mine still, you can and you're physically stronger, you can still break out of my shadow possession. And it's kind of like like while Shino's on the other hand, if she gets her mind transfer, like or not Shino, sorry, if she does her mind transfer, then she's in you, like she's got your body, so.
Yeah, but her body is
Is
left.
vulnerable.
yes,
Yeah, so it's always good that she always does it around either in like a spot where she's hidden or around her teammates who can like protect her. So
Honestly, it also seems like a weird matchup to have her Choji. Like Choji's really the only attacker in their group.
yeah,
yeah. But it works
well, I
for me
mean
because I mean
when you can,
yeah, he can attack and defend if Shino goes somewhere else. I mean he's big enough to attack and like what Shikamaru has and like step on somebody and then still have a foot behind to block
yeah,
So
when you do your expansion jutsu and you can be as big as a freaking home, a mansion, whatever, the tower, and then you can use your butterfly power on top of that. You're the only attacker your group needs.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Solid pick though. Definitely love Shikamaru. Which for us, Matt.
I'm gonna go with Kimi Maru. Kimi
Yeah,
Maru. Yeah, he's probably my second favorite villain. Just when he was introduced, the bone powers, it just got me. And like with him and Rock Lee fight, like both his fights that he's introduced, those are. And then when Gaara shows up, and then him and Gaara have a freaking sand versus bone graveyard battle. I mean, it's hard not to like him.
Yeah. And he definitely would have won that fight between him and Gaara if he didn't die like right beforehand.
Yeah.
yeah, he had him dead for rights. Kimi Maru in that Kekkei Genkai was dope. It was amazing to see, and then just like learning that it is kind of like you're not truly a bad guy. Just like you were dealt a bad hand, you're dying, you're sick, and Orochimaru was able to help you with a curse technique and stuff like that. So it's kind of like I understand your path. It's kind of almost like Haku, where it's like you were given a bad kind of like
Just
You're
life,
giving the bad
but
hand.
yeah, but
Oh,
someone
a lot of people in the League of Villains too, from My Hero Academia.
yeah,
Boku no
so
Hero.
um,
Are any of us villains, or are we just born on the wrong side?
no, they're villains.
they're villains. Yeah. When you call yourself the League of Villains, I think you're a villain.
When you go around committing muck duck for fun, you're a villain.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, I definitely like Kimi Maru. All right, I guess I'll go with my favorite, well, second favorite villain from the series, Kisame from the Blood Mist. I don't know what it is about Kisame. He just was always strong. He got to be partners with Itachi,
Because he's
known
Sharky
as
Boy.
the non-tailed Jinchuriki. I don't know, the fact that he was so ingenious with like giving his sword to Killer Bee just to be able to use it against him, which was like sweet. He never took shit from nobody, and like I like that he just was in it just to have something to do. He didn't really have like a ulterior motive behind why he was bad. It was just
He just wanted to be there.
I want to be the strongest, fight strong people, kick ass, take names. I
Until
appreciate
you
that.
meet Mike Guy. Mike Guy is that guy.
Yeah.
You're not that guy. And then Mike Guy's like, he's like, oh, I am that guy. Because Mike Guy put the fear of God in Kisame.
And I just love that guy never remembered he ever fought Kisame. Kisame's like, oh, well, we meet again. And guy's like, when do we meet? Like, I've never seen you.
Every time, who are you?
We fought.
The only thing running through guys' minds is Kakashi. It's like, oh.
In the springtime of youth.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. Mike Guy is like another favorite of mine. So I'll just go ahead and put that in there.
Forever in the springtime of youth.
Yeah. And the fact that like he actually does have the rivalry, but I never took it seriously because Kakashi just like shrugged it off as like, we're not keeping count. We're not like actually.
We've never actually kept record before, but.
But I also keep record, just so you know I'm better than him. When he's really not that much better.
Yeah, it's like tied. I do love their rivalry. It's kind of like Shanks Mihawk. Like we never really got to see it except like I think once or twice. But we never got to see Shanks and Mihawk. But it's like who really is better? Like it's so even. Kind of love it.
I was like, makes me side tangent for my brain. It's like, what would happen if Shanks actually did try to go after Mihawk's sword? But that's for different discussion for different later time.
Shanks has his own sword. But yeah, I like Kisame as a pick, absolutely. Like you said, the Nun Tails Jinchuriki, just because he had that much chakra, that much strength, like that's pretty amazing. When we saw what he could do in the pursuit of getting B in Naruto, that was awesome. Making that little like that whole water world, and it moves with him. Like all of that was dope. And it was just showing the two strength and pretty much why he wasn't afraid of Itachi. Because, like, they had a couple scraps, and obviously Itachi would always be the winner. But, like, Kisame was never afraid, and it was, like, it made a lot of sense. And then Might Guy, of course, became Night Guy. And that kick after opening the 8 gates and almost killing Madara. I saw something the other day that made me laugh. It was like a meme, or it was like, the only reason Madara lived is because Guy forgot to take off his weights.
Oh, wow.
I was like, yo, he would have been like just a little bit faster if he did, but I don't know if Guy did. Was it ever shown that Guy wears weights?
No, I think it was just a joke because Lee had weights. But it's still like that's hilarious.
Yeah, but he also took out like 2 people that no one else could really touch. Like
it also blew my mind because like reanimated before Rinnegan. Yeah, before Rinnegan. Right? Yeah, before Rinnegan Madara took out all the Kages, all of them,
by himself.
Every single one, like sliced them all in half, took them all out by himself, and then Madara, who was then powered up exponentially, almost lost the guy.
Well, because Madara pretty much said it himself. He's like, the only thing that could really beat me was taijutsu, and because he could absorb ninjutsus with his Rinnegan, or that was before, like, but with his Sharingan. So, and he could copy jutsus, but taijutsu and Guy was just so fast. And the fact that he's so fast that his attacks, like that lion, or it was a tiger attack, was just the friction of his punch against the air.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
But hey, I the Raikage, he was quick in taijutsu. I think he was like the 3rd strongest or whatever, 3rd fastest. So he should have made. But
he wasn't Mike Guy.
At the same time, that was also Madara powered up exponentially compared to just reanimated Madara. So,
but it also makes sense.
Anyway,
because
Madara, Mike Guy over every Kage. Period.
Facts.
Mike Guy should be dead.
Also, I think what gave him the edge over Madara was like he always had that flame of youth. So but like I feel like that correlates to the power of his like life force. So that gave him that much energy opening the 8 gates that he was able to pretty much almost overpower him if he just didn't run out of steam to like right there at the end.
Yeah, because he quite literally broke all the bones, most of like his legs and all that stuff.
He should be dead.
Doing that.
And he can run on his hands.
Well, I mean, that was part of his training. So I mean,
Because I thought like opening all gates is like leads to your death through that immense power.
it does.
It's supposed to.
It's supposed to, yeah.
Naruto saved him.
Yeah, and also in Boruto, the little bit I did see, he also like worked those kids, even in that wheelchair. Did not care.
Yeah, just so you met, even though he didn't die, he's still very punished. He cannot run anymore. That leg is gone. He still has it, but he can't use it. So like, speaking of some of those characters, I just mentioned the Raikage. He is the now current Raikage, Darui of the Cloud Village. I absolutely love that guy. It was just he had the lightning release, but it was black lightning. I think he had like some lighters with him, and just like was able to use multiple of those sealing gourds and stuff when they were trying to seal everybody that was reanimated. Out of everyone from the village, outside of B, of course, he's my favorite.
Yeah, he's also on my list. So, like, I love his nonchalance about everything, but he's also ready to kick ass and take names like at the drop of a hat.
It's like, because I know he's the fifth one. He's the fifth Raikage.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really don't remember him too much from the series, to be honest.
That's the cool thing. That was one of the cool things about him, though. He was so nonchalant, and I mean, their whole village didn't have much shine anyway.
Because like, I think I saw him like is when Grace was watching. Yeah, I mean, him and like a couple other people were the ones to like pretty much escort Naruto and everybody into the village.
Mm-hmm.
But like he's more of a background character, but at the same time, like he still like whenever he did step to the stage, he just did cool shit and then go back and not be the star of the show.
And if I'm not mistaken, he was the one who almost beat Suigetsu when Sasuke and Taka came to attack the Five Kage Summit.
Yeah, I just found the picture of it, but him fighting Suigetsu in their fight against Taka.
Yeah, he's fucking beast. Daru was amazing. So and I mean, and I guess I just said Daru, and I also just said B. So I'll go ahead and also say B. Killer B, the Eight Tails, the rapping annoying ninja is such a great character. Such a great character, such a great mentor to Naruto in terms of becoming like controlling your tailed beast. But man, I mean, like the disrespect to be fighting Sasuke and then just stop your fight and be like, I gotta rap real quick. Let me write that down.
Yeah, that's the disrespect and that.
He deserved it though. Sasuke deserved it.
Oh, absolutely.
Sasuke died like 2 times over. It wasn't for Karin and Jugo and Suigetsu, he'd be dead. He would be dead.
Seeing the lariat, oh man, it was just
8
B's amazing.
No fucks to give. Like, also he's like best friends with his Jinchuriki. Like Naruto becomes near the end, with Kurama, but like he's had like a great relationship with him almost from the beginning.
And he took it on at a really young age. And was just so nonchalant about it when he got it. I mean, just like, oh.
Also, he was super young when he became like the second lariat with the Raikage that is like, hey, he has the perfect energy to match him. That his arm won't break off when they essentially decapitate people.
And that's pretty much what it was. Double lariat to take heads off. Oh, and that's how I just saw the photo. He was also one of the only ones to like not be afraid of Minato, but also like counter Minato. He knew that Minato had marked him, and when Minato was about to come attack him, he already had that sword blade right there. Like, you move an inch closer, and you also die. And it was like, oh, okay, Killer B.
Nah, B. Because I remember when I first introduced him, he was just so goofy. He was like, who is this guy? Like, him just rapping to himself and not doing anything. And everybody's like, why is he talking to himself? He's like, no, he's trying to become a cool artist. He's like, Not with those lyrics.
Yeah, he absolutely was annoying to me in the beginning. All that rapping pissed me off. I was like, if you don't shut the fuck up and just talk. But now I love it. I grew to love it very, very quickly. Again, mostly because of the disrespect towards Sasuke. I feel like the Sasuke that fight with Sasuke just made lots of people fans of B. Like seeing what is it, the seven or eight short blade technique like that he could do, and
It's 8.
and yeah, it makes sense because it's eight Hachi and being octopus and stuff. But yeah, just like seeing Sasuke think he could keep up with it, and Killer Bee being like, dude, I'm gonna play with, I'm gonna toy around with you and just kick your ass the whole fight. And I was like, yeah.
Show him what for. I think
hit him again.
I was gonna say, I think one of the only fights that I was really rooting for Sasuke was against
Danzo.
Yes,
absolutely.
Maybe I was gonna say the guy with the hands in the mouth in his hands. Can't think of it right now.
Datara.
Datara.
No, Datara.
So I'm thinking Sasori. Yeah.
But honestly, I still probably would have been okay with Datara killing Sasuke.
Absolutely.
But Danzo, no, he had to kill Danzo.
Datara was probably the most annoying of the Akatsuki members for me. Like he just but
why?
I still like.
It's an explosion.
It's an explosion. I like it.
Everything
but
is hard.
He's just most persistent. Like he would never die. He won't die.
Yeah, neither will.
But Datara was the
Shikamaru fault. He literally can't die.
Datara was like really the only Akatsuki member that after he got defeated, he just kept coming back and was like still in the story, still causing problems. Like everybody else just took the L and they were like, okay, I'm done. Not Datara. He was like, I gotta come back. I gotta do this again.
I still got art to make.
More explosions.
Explosion. Art is an explosion. And I liked what he did with his techniques. I liked Datara. That's all I'm gonna say. I liked Datara.
He was a more deadly Sai power. Instead of drawing, which Sai was like honestly the cool, counter pick for him.
Yeah, and then I was like, when he said the hand mouth thing, I was like, oh yeah, he did have that. That was kind of gross.
That's how he molded the chakra stuff in his hands, and then launched his attacks, his art. I don't think Gaara was the most annoying. I would say.
Ooh.
I would say Zetsu.
I didn't feel like Zetsu was that bad. Zetsu was mainly just like reconnaissance for the majority of the show.
Because Zetsu was never serious about anything the whole time. He was just like, I'm just waiting for the part to come that I can bring back my master.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
I
didn't really feel any type of way towards Zetsu, but Datara definitely got on my nerves.
But Datara, I hate Datara.
Okay. And I would say my favorite villain is Pain. While we're talking about all that Akatsuki. Yeah, Pain. Now
Are we talking Pain or Nagato?
Pain. We're talking Pain when he takes over the body. I can't remember the
guy's body. The same.
No, Nagato. No, Nagato is the one that controls like the.
They are the same. Nagato is Pain.
I know Nagato is Pain. No, the body that Nagato overtakes, like the 6 bodies of his friend. I'm forgetting. Oh man.
I cannot remember right now either. Yahiko.
Yeah.
That whole part was so fucking stupid to me. Like he died because they were fighting they were at a disadvantage, and it was the dude with the toad, the God, I forgot that guy. But he's the one that gave Orochimaru, Tsunade, and Jaraya the name of the legendary signing, that poison frog guy. They were fighting him and his people, and they were like, we'll take you down. I think Hanzo was the samurai guy. They're like, we'll take you down unless one of you kills the other. One of you has to kill, one of you has to die, and we'll leave the other 2 alone. And they weren't going to do it, so they were going to fight. And then the redheaded one was like, guys, I got this, and then ran into the blade of Nagato, and I was like, this is stupid.
That's it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Geico was his name.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, he took over the body, but the power of the Rasengan and just I don't know the fight in the land of the was it land of the water?
Land of the Rain.
Rain, yeah. Land of the Rain versus Jaraya and Jaraya's timeling and
Ugh, my heart.
Jaraya's
Right.
yeah, the heartstrings. You don't
That
know
was a
pain
good
until
fight.
you don't know true pain until that moment when Jaraya's sinking.
But I will say, like, Pain really like gave the ninja like the Leaf that work by well, it was by himself, but he had like just his 6 bodies, and he destroyed it. He had Naruto pinned almost. Well, he did. Did he kill Hinata? Yeah, he killed Hinata, and then they brought her back. No, didn't kill her.
I don't think she died, but he did. I mean, just the fact of stabbing those rods right through her, though, that was
That was grotesque. Man,
literally pinning her in the ground, in the earth.
Yeah,
Man, he killed Kakashi.
he did kill Kakashi.
Kakashi did dupe him though.
Mm.
Before he did officially die, Kakashi did dupe him.
Mm-hmm. Man.
Yeah, Pain was such a good character.
Let's see.
Nagato and all of his paths, all of his pain paths.
Because I think Shippuden was getting on that lull, and then when Pain was introduced, like as like the next villain, it was a nice little refresh for the series, too.
Yeah. Also, they had the Rinnegan, so he's the first time for us seeing it, and then like I feel like they did his character very well. Like they shrouded him in a lot of mystery, and you're like, well, it has to be this guy, but it has to be Yahiko because obviously that looks like Yahiko. And then it ended up that Nagato was controlling him from far away as a puppet. Yeah, and that was just a dead body. And you're like, what? How's that working? Yeah.
All them damn rods.
Yep.
And then the twist of him actually not being the leader of the Akatsuki was like, oh.
Which is also crazy to think about because like literally Toby has one Sharingan. Has one eye. One Sharingan. Nagato has 2 Rinnegan. The Rinnegan is a more powerful ability than the Sharingan. Mangekyo or not. So it's kind of like, why are you afraid of Toby? Why are you letting him tell you what to do when literally you are more powerful than him?
I mean, because he was like letting him still achieve his goal of destroying the Leaf.
But they were afraid of him, and that's why Conan had planned for so long how to kill him. That's why she made that 1 billion paper explosion bombs to trap him in about his ability. They knew the time was going to come at the end where they were going to have to take him out. So instead of after they got what they needed to in terms of getting all the members and starting to collect the beast, they no longer had a reason for Toby. At that point, you don't need Toby anymore.
I don't know. I mean, he was trained by Madara, so I feel like he's deadly, and he was deadly on his own.
Trained.
I mean,
Madara. When Madara got him, Madara was on his deathbed. He couldn't really do anything. He just kind of was like.
He had the secret of
Uchiha, so
yeah, but that doesn't help you in hand-to-hand combat. And even if it did, Nagato is 7 people or 6 people, and each of them have different things. One of them can literally take your soul.
That's true.
So,
always got to play devil's advocate for at least a little bit.
Oh man,
I'm no math major, but I think 6 people equates over 1 person. Well, I would say that, but then Madara just destroyed. Go back.
I was
yeah.
counter argument. Madara. Madara versus the 7 Shinobi army plus the 7 Kages.
It was a reanimated Madara, so he had more chakra and more strength. And
since we're talking about him, he's my last pick on my list, so we got to talk about him. But the man, the myth, the legend,
literal legend,
Mm-hmm.
Maru Uchiha. Specifically, I love the reanimated version because that Madara versus the seven Shinobi army is one of my favorite fights.
The Madara that literally says "fuck around and find out."
Yes. The Madara that says, "I have a perfect Susanoo. I won't use it again if this doesn't work."
Yeah. Also, the Madara that says, "Do you want all of my clones to use Susanoo or not?"
Also, the Madara that says, "But you forgot about the second one."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh cool. That's nice that you caught that one. But what about the one behind it? Who? Because who's the one that actually summoned? Because I mean, he was on top. Was it Orochimaru's
Kabuto.
Yeah, it was Kabuto who's the one that unleashed
Reanimated
Madara onto the reanimated him to the world, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing that Madara knew how to reverse the technique
and then take control of his body.
Yeah, and literally come back to life.
But this was a part of the plan.
That was part of the plan.
Gosh, but Madara's been a badass from day one, fighting with Hashirama,
Sinji.
taking control of the Nine Tails in the past and fighting with him and knowing how to control him. It's just such a good villain.
I 100% agree. I love Madara as a character. Definitely one of the top villains.
He's one of my favorite villains of all time. Like, just definitely. And then he's so badass. And then, like, when he did a fireball against, like, 12 other, like, water users.
Yeah.
Just so they could just, par it. Not break it, not beat it, just not let it kill everyone.
Yep.
Hand-to-hand combat was badass.
Madara's that guy. I just like when whoever it was threw that paper bomb at him and he caught it and put it on another ally.
Another dude that kicked him over and he
shot the crowd.
Just blew up.
I was like, damn. Madara is that dude.
He's like, he ain't getting zero fucks who you are coming after him.
I just still don't understand how he got his Rinnegan. It was such bullshit. He was going to die to that attack, and then it was like, oh, I unlocked my Rinnegan somehow, and I absorbed your technique, even though I just unlocked my Rinnegan right before it hit me. All right, let's keep it moving.
Let's keep it going. I've been overpowered. Let's just make me more overpowered.
A little bit of plot armor never hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Literally.
I don't know. It hurt a lot of ninjas.
But yeah, I was never disappointed with Madara at any point. Even when he got his Rinnegan, I was like, this is a little much. But just because it's Madara, I'll let it pass.
Because when he was first introduced, when Kabuto first introduced him, it's like, oh, who is this guy? Like, what's the big deal about him? I mean, because beforehand we've only heard of the Madara Uchiha, correct? We didn't know like what actual power he possessed.
Well,
I think we always knew that he was a badass, like one of the, because we knew that he was the rival of the first, and we knew that the first was like the strongest ninja and stuff like that. So like, we knew that Madara was up there.
Yeah, and he was like the other figure at Fate. I don't know if it's called Fate's Falls, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
where it was just him fighting Hashirama.
I think it's called the Hidden Valley.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is just another villain they're going to take care of. I didn't expect it to be like until he started fighting. It's like, villain. He's going to be the end. He's the end goal.
Or so we thought.
Yeah.
But also, like, the fact that he just has been, it's sad a little bit, but he's been keeping the feud and like the fire of the Uchihas alive for literally centuries. So, gosh, because it's been like 400 years no. There's been three great ninja wars. Four at this point.
200 years or so?
He's been essentially keeping this alive for the fact of the Uchihas and essentially the revenge of his brother. So.
Oh, man. Well, as Tawan talked about rivals and Madara's brother and all of that, I have Hashirama Senju instead because the first Hokage, the man with every nature type, in the wood release that is everyone's end goal, the Hashirama cells, just like literally being that dude, not having an ability or a special Kekkei Genkai, but outside of its wood release, but still being able to go toe to toe with Madara in his Mangekyo Sharingan and having control of the Nine Tails. Like just me as one person was able to take on one of the most feared ninja in existence and one of the most feared creatures, the Nine-Tailed Beast, at the same time. Come at me. With wood. All I used was wood.
I was always so unimpressed with wood, but they made it so useful and resourceful and like resilient, and I was just like, why wood? But he is badass. I'm just like, why wood though? Like, there are mugs that could bend metal or like particle bombs, and I'm just like, wood. But I can't deny the usefulness of it. Also, when he like did the Buddha with the wood, it was just like, you're done.
Emergence. All those techniques.
With dragons.
Yeah. So I love that, and it's funny because someone you had just mentioned Madara and then his like vengeance for his brother, and I was thinking the same thing. I was like, it's funny how we all love Hashirama Senju, or everyone likes him, and then it's like, who likes the second Hokage? Not a lot of people. It's like,
I thought he was cool, and like the fact that he was smart and created like all these like jutsus. But it was funny. I think I saw a meme, and it was like, look, I made all these jutsus for killing Uchihas. Look, I made this new jutsu for killing Uchihas. And it's just like, yo.
And I think I like that too. I think it was like he made he made the reanimation technique so that he could bring back Uchiha so that he could kill them again.
Yeah. It's like, I just have a murder intent for Uchiha for some reason.
Yeah. Tobirama is not a good person at all. I mean, he was always looking out for the well-being of the Leaf Village, but also not a good person.
He was a racist. He hated Uchihas. He called them evil.
Just get pushed outside the clan, outside the village, a little further back.
Literally, the only way that they could get more powerful was doing what you did to them. Like that's how they get more powerful, is through trauma and bad experience. And you're like, let's kill them all. And it's like, yo, you're making them powerful, dude. If you accept them, they can't get more powerful.
Exactly. Oh, I was gonna say that raises the question: who's worse, the second Hokage or the third?
So the third is worse when it comes to an entire race. When it comes down to like who's worse as a person towards just like one person, it's just the third, because the second did it as he thought for peace and to like get out, pretty much erase a clan that has bad blood. Like your blood requires evil things to happen for you to get stronger. Like it's bad that it just feeds badness here. The third had one goddamn job, and it was
not let Naruto die.
He was the Hokage. We had multiple jobs, but literally just look over this little boy. All you gotta do is look over him, put him in some nice home, put him in your home, just put him somewhere. And you were like, nah, I'm gonna tell the whole village that the previous Hokage and the wife died because of him, and then I'm gonna tell the whole world that what's inside of him is what killed everybody, including his parents. I'm not gonna tell him who his parents are. I'm gonna have him live in a ghetto ass apartment that's broken down, that's got roaches, and all he's gonna eat is ramen. Yeah, that sounds good to me. That sounds good. I told him I'll take care of him, and that sounds like I'm taking care of him. Yeah, absolutely.
Took care of him pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm a great grandfather.
Yeah.
He had 3 hots and a cot.
Fucking
who was it? I think it might have been Udom. It's like when they're all reanimated for the first time, just Minato just whack Hizaru or
no.
Hiruzen.
Yeah.
I was like, I wish that would happen.
Just hit him. It's like,
he just turned around and smacked the shit out of him.
Like, oh, he's being a great ninja. It's like, how did he grow up though? I was like, about that. Just he broke my promise.
But no, sorry.
Minato flashed up slaps. Just have two kunais right there.
Yeah, to go back, Hashirama, one of my favorites, and again, known as the God of Shinobi, which is what can be that title. And then because he's so funny, like the reanimation part you just talked about, he reminds me of what happened with Julius Novachrono. Well, Julius is always super excited to see like powers and stuff and whatnot. And he's just like he's so carefree and goofy. When they came back and Tobirama was being evil towards Sasuke, he was like, "You're gonna," which made sense though, because Sasuke was like, "I'm gonna destroy Konoha," and Tobirama was like, "The fuck you not? I'm kill you right here."
It's like that's what these dirty Uchihas do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
then
the fact that like when
Sasuke,
Tobirama didn't he just like raise a finger?
yeah, he raised the finger, and then Hashirama unleashed his chakra, was like put that finger down, and like cracked the room they were in with his chakra and his pressure. That was amazing to me because like the moment like it showed how fearsome they were. But then what I liked about it and what reminded me of Julius is right when that ended, this first immediately busted out in laughter as if he was a child, and I was like, that's some shit that Julius would do. He would be like, I gotta be serious real quick. Just like when he took out some of the Eye of the Midnight Sun people, like taking them out, like he's like, I don't have time to deal with y'all. Boom, 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 dead.
Yeah, it's like there's too many. I can't let you live.
and then just be goofy, like, haha. So what's next, guys? Who wants to come with me? Like, la 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 la.
So why were these guys a problem again?
Yeah. So many great characters.
Great pick.
Absolutely. And of course, you know, you guys know me. I love power, and I mean, he's the epitome of power. Power.
Super. Awesome.
Powerpuff Girls song, not One Piece reference.
I've got two more good characters, but I don't know how many you have, Matt. I don't know.
I am happy with the people I have said.
Okay.
My list is done.
So I got two more. I got two more. You're gonna like you're gonna I think you're gonna like both of them. You're definitely gonna like this next one. Everyone loves this next one, and that is none other than our pervy sage Jaraya.
I love Jaraya.
Oh man, helping Naruto with the Rasengan, like teaching him the Rasengan, helping him out and whatnot. Which I mean, without that, Naruto wouldn't be who he is because it's the only fucking move Naruto does. Shadow Clone Jutsu, and then Rasengan of some variety. Yeah, I freaking love Jiraiya Sensei. So I was actually laughing. Someone made a video. I forgot who it was, but this girl made a TikTok, and I was watching it earlier today, and it was about how just like that you knew Jiraiya was a badass, and some of the Tiny were badass. Who was like, because she said it was like the outfits, and it was like he has this like the first thing was like he's super weighed down with the scroll that he carries. She was like you have a 5x8 rug on your back, and like she was like you don't need this scroll. Why do you have this? And like just like that was one part of it. And then she was like, look at the headband. He has a customized headband, and it's like literally like everyone else's headband is the normal headband. It has a hidden leaf symbol on it, and Jiraiya's is just like, nah, fuck y'all. This is me.
I'll just make my own.
This badass customized headband that I rock. Yeah, I love Jaraya and the goofiness that he had, but then just the seriousness with him as well. Like when he did decide, hey, I need to go see what's going on in the Hidden Rain Village, and I think I tracked down the leader of the Akatsuki, and we were gonna go do this, and us seeing him in serious mode was awesome. Too short lived, but it helped prolong, or not prolong, but further develop Naruto as a character, so made sense. Pervy Sage for the win, though.
Yeah, like when he was leaving the village and when Tsunade was like, "You don't have to do this," he's like, "No, but I need to go do this. Like I just know there's a bad feeling out there." And she knew he was making a false promise when he said he would come back to. I don't know, like it's just give off the wrong ambience vibe kind of thing. You know he's gonna do something dumb and something that he will and won't regret at the same time.
I don't want to say it was dumb. But it was that he
should have
taken
backup. Yes, he should have taken backup.
But who would he have taken? Like, I'm only thinking like, because I'm thinking like the Jonins, and like they've already killed Asuma. He could have taken Kakashi, maybe Guy.
You could have taken two people we didn't know, or Tsunade was the Hokage. Give me 3-4 of your top Anbu Black Ops members.
I feel like I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the Anbu Black Ops were just like a letdown if they weren't like Kakashi and Itachi, but that's just because we didn't know more about them.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like if I was in the leaf, I would definitely want to be in the Anbu Black Ops. Just get one of those masks. It's just like
Absolutely.
got that mask. Can't
Maybe
beat
that
it.
maybe that's what we should do for animes. It's just be a bunch of Akatsuki or a bunch of Anbu Black Ops.
But wasn't Danzo the leader of the Anbu Black Ops too?
He was
Yeah.
he was the leader of the darker division of the Anbu Black. I forgot what they were called, but it was a different division. Like he got his own members, and like that had a more dark purpose behind them.
Also, send Danzo, expendable.
Yeah.
Danzo would have been like, I can't that day. I'm out of town. I got to work retreat.
Is there an Uchiha eye I can collect?
Yeah. Yeah. But
yeah. Oh, good.
well, is that the last? Is that the last you guys have for Jiraiya? I know.
No, I was gonna.
I
I like all that he taught Naruto. How he used the balloon to teach him his dash jutsu. That was pretty sweet. The fact that he's taught literally some of the most powerful ninjas that have ever came about: Naruto, Minato, Nagato, Kurina, Yaiko. Gosh, and pretty much it's just like anything that he's touched has been a great ninja.
Whenever you talk about the three orphans, it makes me laugh every time I think about the whole like Orochimaru. Should I kill these? Shall I kill these kids?
Oh yeah, because they literally were in this third Great Ninja War, weren't they?
Yeah.
That's what.
And they found them because they asked for food, and even though was it Nagato and all them, they kind of wanted to kill them for their supplies at first, but then they realized these are not ninjas to mess with.
Yeah, Jiraiya, and then Orochimaru was gonna kill him, and Jiraiya was like, "No, I'll watch over them and I'll train them and I'll help them grow." And that's what he did instead. It was kind of like, man.
I mean, better to not let Orochimaru kill them.
Is it because that Nagato became pain and?
I mean, but that wasn't the reason why. It was literally situation.
But if he was dead, if Orochimaru had killed him, none of that would have happened because it would not have been possible.
None of that would have mattered then.
There would be no Rinnegan. There would be no.
It'd be less attack. Yeah, less attack. Akatsuki.
Moral of the story: listen to Orochimaru.
Pretty much.
Moral of the story: kill the children.
Become Anakin Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
But last but not least, definitely not least, my favorite character is on the wall. None other than the greatest Uchiha to ever exist, Itachi Uchiha. I said that. Yes, I did. Over Madara, over Shisui, especially over fucking Sasuke.
He could have killed Sasuke any time during that fight.
Yeah, he didn't want to kill Sasuke.
Yeah, because he was dying, so he knew he had to get his brother to essentially power up, Oh, man, but Itachi Uchiha, and a lot of people hate on Itachi. A lot of people hate Itachi because of, like, the dude did commit genocide on his own race. I get it. But it kind of came down to, like, do you kill everyone and protect your brother, or do you let the village kill everyone, including you and your brother?
Yeah.
I think Toby Rama would have supported either decision.
Yeah, I think they talked about that. That was another thing from when he came back, and he's like, they were talking about when he was talking to Sasuke, and he was like, your brother was a great ninja, and it was because he killed all of them.
Terrible. But yeah,
just because I mean, Itachi was known as another person not to fuck with. Even when he re-entered the village, everyone was like, "Oh shit, it's Itachi!" Like, and he was the mysterious figure that we were trying to get to know. Because Sasuke's whole goal, I'm gonna kill one man. That's one man I have to kill. I have to kill my brother. Okay, who the fuck is your brother? And then it's to finally meet him. And then like our first instance of Itachi is like, first off, Kunai Sensei thought that she was doing something, and
she never moved.
With her genjutsu, she was in a genjutsu herself the whole time and got worked. And then Kakashi was like, I got a Sharingan, I'll try it. And Itachi was like, in 1,000 years of stabbing for you. It was like,
Yeah. Also,
I
like,
was standing there and I was like, oh,
Itachi's like, honestly, when you use genjutsu, you kind of gotta be sadistic, but he was like real bad to like make Sasuke like relive him killing his parents over and over. But
yeah,
I know he was trying to like, give him that trauma so that he could unlock more power. But
Sharingan. Yep.
gosh, that's rough.
Yep.
That's sadistic. But I mean, even still, whenever he met with Naruto, I mean, he put Naruto through the works too, because
He put Shisui's eye in him.
yeah,
That was the crow that had Shisui's eye, and then he put in Naruto. But also, just like Itachi puts everyone under the genjutsu, because even those two that were close, even the two members that were in the Yambu together with him that he was closest to, when they tried to turn on him, they ended up stabbing each other, and he was like, "Yeah, you guys have been." They were like, "We know how to not fight you. We're not gonna we have our eyes protected and sealed. We can't see you at all." And they ended up killing each other, and they thought they stabbed him, but they killed each other. And he was like, "You've been into the genjutsu all this time, bro. Like, I put y'all in one the moment I met y'all. Like, what you talking about?"
I don't mess with any.
Yeah, I was gonna say his ability is kind of like Aizen. It's just like you don't know you're in it until you're in it, or essentially don't look at his eyes, because once you do, you're in it, whether you know it or not.
Hey, but not even looking in his eyes, because Kabuto tried that. Kabuto got rid of his eyesight so he couldn't see Itachi, so he couldn't fall in any type of genjutsu, and he still got with a genjutsu.
Yeah.
And that's why Itachi is that guy. Love me some
You just
Itachi.
fucked.
Favorite character in Naruto, my favorite character to play with in the Naruto games. Love me some Itachi. I don't care about the genocide.
I don't care about it.
That's one little mishaps in a person. It's all right.
He did it. He did it to save people.
He did.
Twan's like, PSA.
PSA. We do not support genocide. By the way,
we do not support genocide.
PSA. He means within Naruto.
We're talking about within the anime world where it is not real. Yeah. Even within that, I don't agree with Eren Yeager. That's all I'm gonna say.
Eren Yeager.
Just put that in the world. We do not support genocide.
I'm just saying Itachi was all right. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Leave it
all
that.
I'm saying is he's all right in my book.
Oh man, but yeah, definitely favorite. I love me Itachi Uchiha.
I'm really surprised that none of us picked Minato.
I thought about it. I looked at him like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, no.
I think he has more emotional impact, but I can't put him as one of my favorite characters.
Like I don't know, like when. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, Gaara, when he was first, like I said, like when I first saw Gaara, I was like, yeah, he's gonna be my favorite immediately. Like Minato, I think he was just introduced too late for me to care to make him a favorite character.
I feel you, but
he did some badass things in the war, though. I ain't gonna lie about it.
Oh yeah,
and also being known as the one ninja in history that's known as just like you have a run on sight order with him. Like if you see Minato dip, like.
It's probably too late. He's probably got you.
Yeah. If you see the yellow flash, just go ahead, call it a day. Just go ahead, go back home, pack your stuff up.
See yellow hair, blonde, any kind, blonde hair and a leaf headband, just dip.
So yeah, I do highly respect Minato. I do think he's dope. He didn't become one of my favorites, but he easily could have become one of my favorites. Also because he somehow, while he was dead, was able to form the same chakra connection with the evil half of Kurama that like I was like, what? Yeah, like yeah. Naruto had the good half of Kurama that was still bad.
Yeah, definitely was like still open this cage, see what happens.
Exactly. But like got that, and Naruto was able to like fully control him and get to the chakra mode now, like the Jubi cloak. But somehow Minato was able to do that exact same thing. But even though Minato was dead the whole time, so that okay, whatever.
Chakra is forever.
Yeah, I mean we saw with the whole when everybody died against Pain that they all go to some other heaven world. So I guess they can do whatever they want to there. Remember, Kakashi went there and saw his dad, and Other people went there, and
I love how they never touch up on that. By the way,
Yeah,
yeah, we all love that, right? That's
Yeah, it's like, oh, Kakashi's dad, that one that we all wanted to know about because he's also like a super elusive and respected ninja. And you know what?
I thought he wasn't respected. Yeah, he wasn't respected because he what was it? He left his crewmates.
But you know, like
yeah,
renown. And it was just like, you know what? We're not going to touch on this or give you any information about it. You'll just be okay with that.
Yeah, it's funny. Everyone was like, I didn't want Boruto the next generation. I wanted, the previous generation. I want to see everything about Minato. I want to see everything about Kakashi's dad. I want to see a young Jaraya. I want all of that. Give me that.
Honestly, if they would have done young Jaraya over Boruto, I would have been so okay with it.
Oh, absolutely. Give me everybody from the previous generations. Yeah, let me see all that. Let me see everything about that. I don't give a shit about Boruto.
Or if you just want to go back through like Hashirama's life, that's okay too.
Yeah, it's a restart from the true beginning.
Yeah, pretty much. Start from there and just work our way up to like.
They could have called it Naruto, the real beginning, and then.
They could have called it Konoha. They could have called it just like Konoha.
Yeah,
how the like
Konoha, a new leaf. That would have been perfect.
Yeah,
bam, right there.
Right. Somebody send that shit in right now. So, I don't know. That's what I wish would have been done instead.
Shonen copywriting that, just so you know, you gotta pay me for that.
Go ahead and get the title and everything. All right, get the will to it, get everything.
Get all the rights. We want to use it.
That's a great movie title, Konoha New Leaf.
And it's the start of the Leaf Village. Gosh, that's
yeah, that's dope. We said it here first. If I see that shit anywhere, I'm coming after you for all your money. Oh man. But what do you guys think about wrapping up this good old podcast today?
Yep.
Sounds good. It's been fun, guys.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to us. Ramble on about our favorite Naruto characters because the verse is amazing. Gonna be here for a while because Boruto's not gonna go anywhere, sadly.
Nope.
Good thing it's not the same writer.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and if you're watching on the YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give us a like and give us a little comment on who your favorite Naruto character is also.
Absolutely. And guys, be sure to follow us on our social medias. We are on Instagram as The Anime Feast, on Twitter and on YouTube as Anime Feast. So be sure to follow us on our pages. Like Matt said, watch us on YouTube. Give us that subscription. Ring those notification bells. We look forward to having more great conversations. We look forward to hearing you guys' input. And until next time.
Stay hungry, my friends.
Peace.
Peace.